Yay,
Hi.
we did it.
Hi.
I'm so happy.
Yes. I try to pretend to be a small or young child, that just push the button. That's it. That's all
You
you
were
have to
better
do.
than that because you sent the request before me.
Well, thank you for
Thank-
your patience.
Oh, I'm the one that's grateful. So this is our fifth live for the live streaming of the series, The Guide to Complete Self-Care, 25 Tools for Life. How you guys are excited to this new book that is coming up?
Well, I'm very excited. This will be my fourth book with the Wellness Universe and with the team and the people that the head of Wellness Universe, the founder, Anna Pereira, has created. Um, I have a wonderful time. I meet amazing people. I learn a lot, and I also get to do things that I love, like write and give advice.
Amazing. How about you, Bunny?
Yeah, I am just so excited. This is my first Wellness Universe book. And for the 10th anniversary, I've been around with the Wellness Universe for a long time, and this is a really big honor. And it's such a big book. There's so much with it. So many things happening. We'll be giving workshops. People are writing blogs. It's just really a fabulous experience. And what really moves me is how many people are going to be helped by this book. So many people, the wonderful therapists writing and counselors and everyone with different backgrounds. And then the inspirational people too are very inspiring. I think it's going to be fabulous.
Amazing. So I would ask Eileen, since she participated for the other fourth books and now it's the new one, how do you see the difference between the previous ones and this one specifically for 25 Tools for Life? What do you think like you're trying to approach differently your readers?
Well, I am on a mission in my life to help people to understand emotions, how they work, and how to work with them.
Mhm.
Because currently, I think we do not understand, most people do not understand what emotions are, and they are running amok. And we are in a time of transition where we're moving into a time where we need to work with energy, and emotions are energy. So I think the fastest way for us to get to uh, the new places that we have in store for us is to get in charge of the emotions that come up in us and work with them the way they're designed to work. So what's different about this book is in the other books, what we do in these books, under the tutelage of Laura, our publisher, uh, is to tell a story about ourselves and then uh, offer a tool that we were able to work with the story or that elucidates what's going on in the story. And this book is the big tool that I have. This is the tool that underlies all the others that I've put in the other books. And it's about Earth as a giant school and how to work with that in your individual life.
Wow, I love that. Amazing. And I love when you say on your tagline, it's like emotions in emotion, right? Like you're navigating through your emotions. And while you're saying, I can understand how people right now, why do people run away of their own feelings? I mean, is there a difference between feelings and emotions, or are they the same?
We don't differentiate. They're in the same pile. I'm more interested. I've been a psychotherapist for over 50 years now. And I'm more interested in what works than in how to name something. I mean, I know a lot of people are interested in names, but what we run away from our emotions because we don't know what they are. We don't understand that they are helpers. They are designed to help us navigate life. And that's the rest of the title of my book, Emotions in Motion, is Mastering Life's Built-in Navigation System. That's what the rest of it is. And so emotions they're not ours in the first place, but they come up when we have experiences, and they're helping us attempting with their message to help us understand what our experiences are trying to offer us in the way of learning. And when we do the learning, our lives work ever so much better. We move on to other things. We don't keep repeating the same patterns. And we have more room for love and joy and happiness.
I love that. Yeah, that's the way it's supposed to be. Like things that we see that it make us better than just thinking about names and going to the rational part, right? You just have
Yeah.
to go with the flow and what you're feeling deep inside your heart. I love
Thank
that.
you. Thank you for that. Yes.
And Bonnie, you're just coming to the book, but as you're saying, you've been part of the wellness universe for a long time. What is like your the main thing you think you're putting on your chapter that will help people to guide their lives?
Well, I have a specific tool in my chapter, and I will spill the beans what that is right now, which is to walk. I believe that we're
Ah,
in a time actually of crisis where people are on the computer so often, on the phones. We're becoming disembodied. And for the Wellness Universe, I blogged last year about creating an embodied world where people actually live in their bodies. As Homo sapiens, we have energy centers, chakras within our bodies, energy meridians, and when we sit crumped up, we can't flow and we can't move. And so I called it Secrets of Joyful Longevity, BodyAlive. And actually it's scientifically proven that if we walk 8 to 10,000 steps a day, we can increase our longevity incredibly just by walking. So my message is to move for joy, to move to live. And I thought, what is the best way to start for anybody? Just everyone who can walk and walk more and more and more and more until we're healthy and we have healthy hearts and healthy minds. And so that was my goal for the book, was to just get people moving. And I didn't want to say, let's go dance or let's
I
do
like
this. Let's
that.
walk.
I love that. It's so amazing because through these lives we've been doing so far, and I know we're coming next, and also this is in the book. You guys are sharing so many simple things for you to put in your daily basis. It's not something that is huge. You have to pay in a big amount of money. And I say, oh, I cannot do that. It's just simple things. Like, for instance, what if we walk and while we're walking, we are connecting with our emotions? That
Exactly.
would
I
be a
do
super
talk about
combo.
that. Yeah, yes. Is you can walk anything out, just like you can talk it out. And while you're walking, you can talk. And I have a wonderful quote from Soren Kierkegaard, the philosopher and theologian, who says you can walk away, and if you sit, you become ill, and if you walk, you become well. And I think that's true. Is you can and talk through your emotions. I do EFT tapping, and if you talk and tap, that's even more powerful. But I just take a few steps is my message.
I love
I
it.
like
Not
the
to
idea
mention,
of talking and talking out loud because the spoken and the written word have power. So you're talking about a mile and a half or 2 miles a day?
Well,
mm,
starting slowly, you can buy a pedometer or, an easy step counter and start counting your steps. And this is
Mm,
actually a part of many corporate or workplace wellness programs,
mhm.
is walk at lunch and count your steps. So you start by just counting your steps and, no, don't walk a mile a day if you only have walked around the house.
mm,
See if you can make it half a block, and always stop with pain is my philosophy. And I'm not one of those no pain, no gain people. No, listen to your body. If it's 2 or 3 steps, that's good. That's three more.
great.
Then make it 10, then 15. Then you'll be there
Mm,
slowly, slowly. And yes, I do believe just even using the side of the hand tapping without all of the tapping points. And it does, we have science behind it that there's a lot of hormonal release and stress release. So just talking it out can be helpful, or talking and breathing. It's wonderful.
I love that. I had a yoga teacher that she used to say, invite the edge, but respect your limits.
Mhm.
Right, like you, every day you can be better, but you're always respecting yourself. Like you're when you're saying, you don't have to do like starting from, oh my God, this isn't unachievable. I cannot do that. No, just go slow. Just starting maybe twice a week or once a week, and then you go just putting more and more, but always respecting your limits in your body, as you're saying, because not just our emotions, as Eileen was saying, but our body also, it has so much intelligence, and sometimes you take this for granted, like just thinking our mind controlling us, but our body is so full of wisdom, right? It's
Mhm.
in teaching us and talking to us, and sometimes you not even listen because, as you're saying, we are on the computer with the cell phone, just looking for the message, and you're not seeing, paying attention around us and even inside us.
Emotions are of the body. In order to work with emotions, you also need to pay attention to the body. So, Bonnie, I really appreciate what you're talking about.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, yes. On my some of my new materials, I'm asking people, when did you listen, or did you ever listen to the wisdom of your body? And we see that a lot in sports, which is, probably you may see this, where people muscle up and then they drive through and they have no idea really on a sensory basis what they're doing to their body and how they're harming themselves.
Yes.
So somatically informed sports activities are very important.
Wow. Well, I endured a great deal of trauma and loss in the very early part of my life. I'm now 82 years old. I just had my 82nd birthday. And
Amazing.
I realized that in order to deal with that trauma, I closed off from my body a lot.
Mm.
And so I'm still working to reconnect with my body because it's so important that we are whole. And I think that's what all of us are talking about in the book. Also, would you agree?
Oh, absolutely. Is something called a functional freeze, which I'm sure you know what that is, where we are just and I won't go into the science behind the polyvagal theory, but where we in response to a reaction, we just freeze ourselves. We freeze our emotions, we freeze our body on a certain level, and then to stay safe, because we always want to stay safe. We're never trying to make ourselves unsafe or sick. We want to stay safe. So we stay in that frozen place. And then we function from that place, and we wonder why our relationships fall apart or we fall into addiction. Yes, almost everything that I'm talking about, unless it's a trained discipline, is often, I think, trauma based. That's why I work with EFT.
I want to really emphasize that working with emotions and working with the body together can overcome trauma and freeze like that. And it's very important because I think a lot of people don't believe it's possible to get past trauma once you have it.
Mm.
I think that was true for a long, long time. And we found in talk therapy that I think 70%, the science says 70% of what people got was comfort. And they kept repeating the trauma verbally over and over and over again. And so they just felt worse and worse and worse. So now we talk about this as the fourth wave of therapy, I'm sure you know that, of incorporating the body. And that's what I'm about too. We're kind of on the same page here. Yeah.
Great.
I love that. And I think like right now, Wellness Universe is playing a crucial role when it comes to everybody be aware of this, right? And not just with your work, as also like Bonnie was saying about the athletes in sports. We've been talking so much about the wellness on their athletes because they sometimes just go to the limit, like they're so full of stress. And you're saying like all the benefits that you have with walking or taking care of your emotions, not to mention that we are holistic, right? We can heal ourselves in so many ways, like not just our mind and body, but our spiritual being as well, our the way we approach life. So I think like everything's so connected. And once you just go with the flow, once you acknowledge that, and hey, I have to take care of my emotions. I have to understand why this kind of situations I make me feel like this, or how can I start and being that like is staying the present, being in the moment. a few things that you just are putting on your life that make some days like right now doesn't make like right away like the difference, like not just like magic, but eventually 1 month from now or 2 months from now, 3 months from now, you're a totally different person.
Can I add one more thing in this that's coming to my mind?
Of course,
Um,
please.
One of the things I've really been focused on in the last year or two is that culturally speaking, we are taught to live our lives from the outside in. For example, if you want more love in your life, say you want a lover, you go
Mhm.
looking for them outside of you. And that's an iffy proposition. You may or may not find the person, and also you're going to look because you think you don't have enough love. And since like attracts like, guess what? Who you get? You get somebody who doesn't believe they have enough love, and that's where a lot of our problems come from. So another major thing that I believe. Now, I know we're making changes here, but there are a lot of people who are still going from the outside in. You have to change. If you make me angry, you have to change. I don't have to change. But the power that we have is living from the inside out. You are the person who stimulates anger in me. I can change what's going on inside of me, and I'll no longer have that experience with you. And we can move on. And so it's really important for us to start thinking about what can I do? And that's where my tool of thinking of life as a giant school. What can I do to change myself that will then be seen in the world, reflected back to me, and will allow the world to change on its own without me having to seize control?
Wow. Thank you for that. I could stay here forever listening to your advice. It's so beautiful. Oh my God. Thank you for that.
Mhm.
And it's so true. Stop looking outside what you have inside. It's everything inside you. Everything you needed, you already have it.
Mhm. And I think that's what Anna and the Wellness Universe has been working so hard to get people to understand. I don't know if she said it quite the way I just said it, but she's saying, look, we have people that can help you to make change in your life so your life is better. And that's so key, and what a gift. I love being associated with the Wellness Universe because Anna has been a gift from the moment that I first met her.
Yeah, she's definitely a gift. And you are a gift as well for all of us. Not just for people that
Thank
it's
you.
already in the wellness universe, but people that are having a chance to watch this live. And that's our purpose here, to show your faces, because when you're just like reading the book, we can connect, of course. But here we just like make people aware about this group of people, these amazing people that are really making the difference in this
Yes.
world, because you're here to be part of the process and contribute to ourselves journey.
And what's so great about this kind of book is that we're all sharing stuff we've been through. It's not, people don't sit on a pedestal. It's like, hey, I too am a human being, and here's what I learned while being human.
Amazing. And I'm still alive, right?
Yes, that's
Celebrating.
part of what I like about it too. It's not just
And
do
smiling.
this, do that, but I went through this. I went through that. One of my friends wrote about being bullied. I went through this and
Yeah.
I overcame it. And you have it within you to overcome whatever your obstacles are. That I think is often the message of the Wellness Universe as well, or as you say, and it's so empowering.
And
Absolutely.
Bonnie, I think like when you're saying that, it's just like if Bonnie overcome this, is Ilene overcome this, is Claudia, if Anna overcome this, I can do that as well. I'm not different from them. I'm just a human as they are. So
Mhm.
it's so nice, it's so beautiful when it can inspire through our pain. Of course, we go through pain in life. It's part of the process, and we have to face that and eventually overcome. And I think a lot of things that it's just the way you wanna approach the things, how you see the perspective you are seeing what happens in your life. But when you go through something hard, for instance, and you see like, oh gosh, she went through that and she's like this. Oh my God, like what I have to do, should I have to sign in? I'm gonna start it now
Mm.
because you feel like how this can inspire, how powerful this is with being around with people that are on the same page and want to make this world a better place.
There's another thing there. Most people don't go where you're talking about, Claudia, because of fear. They're
Hmm.
afraid that it's going to be worse where they're going to go than where they are. And what has helped me is to realize that the earth is about growing and learning these lessons. And that means, and on a spiritual basis as well, it means that we are automatically supported in facing whatever comes up in our lives and in making a new track or pathway for ourselves. So it's an automatic. And so often, as a therapist over the last 50 years, people have said, "Oh, it's so much better over here than I thought it was going to be." And yes, it is.
Yes, yes, it is. Oh, I'm sorry my way wake in the best way ever, and I hope people that was watching us can feel that as well. How powerful is listen to you. But I'm doing this with all of our guests here. Like just like for instance, Bonnie, I want to schedule an appointment with you through the Wellness Universe. So it's our first session. How it works? To summarize a little bit of your work.
To summarize a little bit of
Yeah.
my work, is that what you just? Oh, excuse me. Well, I've done a lot of different work and I'm compiling it at this time. Ilene was talking about the necessity for when you are going through a transformative process to marry the body and the mind. So I've spent a lot of years most recently working with EFT tapping, working with the meridians and helping people. I worked with veterans in the Wounded Warrior Project unravel their
EFT,
Oh,
PTSD.
emotional freedom techniques, right?
30 seconds. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. So, what I'm doing with my work is combining the mind and the body and the spirit in somatic EFT sessions to help people find their truest self,
No, no, no,
freedom of
stop.
ease of mind and movement.
It wasn't 30 seconds. I was just like explaining to people that EFT is emotional freedom techniques, right?
That is correct. It's now scientifically validated, discovered about 2009.
Amazing.
by
No,
an
you can speak
engineer.
more.
I, I'm having a little sound problem. I'm sorry. What was that?
By an engineer, it was discovered in
That's
2009.
right. Gary Craig, who lived very close to the man who worked out, the people who worked out EMDR, discovered that by tapping on acupuncture meridians and articulating certain thoughts of oneself, adding along a self-affirmation statement can actually reprogram the neural pathways of the brain. And that is what I
Mm.
went through. I experienced a gestational trauma in the womb that we never understood, and I went through many, many years of work with
Oh,
this, with a profoundly great coach, and was able to
wonderful.
unravel my own trauma and work towards my own healing.
Fantastic.
Oh, that's amazing. And this is also when you're guys saying that we hear ourselves, right? Like, for instance, you will guide and support people through that journey, but the person it's themselves, it's their who they heal themselves. Nobody can do this work for them, right?
No, I think it happens when people become so uncomfortable. The way they're living is not acceptable. Whether it's a defunct relationship, whether there's some kind of addiction going on, where the pain point causes you to sit up at night and say, this is too much. I can't live with this. And that's the point where it's important to reach out for help, not to endure, not to fall into the self-destructive patterns, but look for help. And there's help on many different levels. If you can't afford a top flight professional, students in training are very well supervised. Anyone can find help these days. And so it's to reach out for that help when you feel that pain. And here at the Wellness Universe, all the wonderful classes that can help lead the way. There's always help. And when you feel that pain, yeah, it's something to deal with. And so you can live in joy and happiness and live the way we're meant to be.
How
So,
can we encourage people to ask for help? Because I have a feeling that sometimes people are being teaching through this society saying like you have to be independent, you have to be strong and be bold, and as you're saying like oh work hard, play hard, and no, I'm not gonna ask for help because I can do that by my own, right? Like as a stubborn. But it's so
No, no.
nice and so humble when you acknowledge that you have something and you ask for help, and more than that, you are able to see a lot of people. There's like all they want to do is help you.
I think the thing is to validate and witness, not to say, oh, get over that, but say, oh, yes, that sounds like it's hard.
Hmm.
This is difficult, to validate the experience, not to sugarcoat it, not to say, oh, you can overcome that. To say, yeah, these are hard times. And maybe I can offer you a helping hand to walk through this or tell you, someone who could. Is never to say, oh, get over it. Because, who can?
Well,
Ilene, you might have something to add,
I
yeah.
yeah, I want to add. I've learned as a therapist that people are willing to wait for that terrible pain because they think it is going to be worse where they need to go than it is where they
That's
are,
true.
and
Yes.
they hate making change. And so, as a therapist, I kind of go spiritually a little bit and say, listen, the world is a big school. You're here to learn. You've now been presented with this problem or this lesson to learn. Now, you don't have to learn it. But let me tell you that once the universe presents a lesson for you to learn, it doesn't give up on you. You may think that the lesson has disappeared because you don't see it for a while, but all it's doing is circling around and coming back. And the next time it comes, it's going to be a harsher, more painful lesson. So often, as a therapist, work with somebody and they'll have a plan for what they're going to do between the time when they're coming back again. And then they come to my office and they go, oh, I didn't do it. I'm so sorry. And I go, well, it's okay with me if you didn't do it, but let's just be real. You never have to learn this, but you're going to be in more and more and more pain until you get it. So it's up to you. And that's very motivating to people. When and when I think one of the things we don't understand is we came here to learn, and you can't avoid learning, and the faster you embrace the learning and do the learning, the easier your life gets.
Amazing. And make sure we have fun while we're learning, right? Like just
Thank you. That's
enjoying.
something I'm learning to add in myself. That's part of my learning.
Yeah, like putting
Yes.
a little bit of joy and smile and dancing, as you're saying, like using all of this ways for us to hear ourselves, like music, sound healing, and walking and talking with our emotions, and just like sometimes meditating. Okay, today I'm gonna do nothing. Like I'm not in a rush. I have a plenty of time to learn this lesson. I mean, when you're saying not in a way that I'm gonna repeat the lesson, but you have to joy and it takes time for us to learn as well, right? It's not just like this.
The more learning you do, the more you embrace learning, the faster you go through it, the fewer things you have to go through, and the easier it is, in my experience. And I've been doing it for a number of years now.
No, when you told you to us your age, I was like, no, that's not possible. Look at you. I want to be like you.
Thank
You're
you.
so
Thank you.
amazing, so beautiful, and so shiny. And also, like as I asked Bonnie about if someone wanna schedule an appointment with you, how I feel
Mhm.
like your work also is your passion and something that make you feel even more alive as well. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Yeah.
That's
Good work, Bonnie. That's great. Um, so I'm mostly focused right now on bringing to the world all that I've learned about emotions. I want to transform the world. So, for example, right now I'm taking a 12-week course on how to create an experience course so that mothers or parents, not mothers, but parents of children who may be having difficulty getting angry or frustrated with their children can learn how to
Mhm.
work with their own anger and then transform the energy or the culture of their family. So I'm in the process of doing that. So people, I do some coaching and also therapy with people in California on Zoom. And my email address is Ilene at emotionalmasteryforlife.com. And so that's how people can get in contact with me. And one thing I do want to add is you don't have to spend your life in therapy per se. You can, the kind of work I've learned to do, it sets you up. Okay, you need to work on this and this and this, and here's some tools, go for it. And you can take over your own growing a lot, save yourself some money, but also uh, make a happier life for yourself, which is really great. I'm grateful.
We are so grateful. Thank you so much. So let's see. I see some comments here of Leah. Thank you for making the world more a beautiful place through all you do. Beautiful. Anna saying, God bless you. Thank you. We all do the work. Anna, we all love you. I say that
Amen.
Anna is the goddess of the goddess. She's like, she's the one that is responsible for unite us. She's so powerful. I love you.
And notice that
Uh,
all she did was do something that had tremendous meaning for her. That's what she did. She went to maximize her own life. I just want to point that out.
yeah.
Thank you,
And
Anna.
Jeanette's responsible for making this happen. That she's uniting all the authors with us. Thank you, our angel, Jeanette. More room for love and joy. That's so beautiful. Eileen said that.
And
I want to give a space if anyone want to ask you some questions. That's the moment because in January we are completing 10 years of the Wellness Universe. Wow, 10 years. And the book, the release of the new book, 25 Tools for Life, which we have these beautiful souls and humans here with us. So I have a question because I'm curious and I always have questions. Eileen, this is your fifth book with the Wellness Universe, and I'm always
For,
asking these questions as well. Uh, you don't have, you can read all of them in different moments of your life. And it's not just like, it's not a sequence, right? You can, like, for now, we are releasing the 25 tools for life. But
I,
if I want to see, like, I
okay.
wanted 25 tools for happiness, I can always go back there and read your chapter.
yes. And so your question is what? Is that so that we don't have to?
I'm asking, yeah, because I feel like people sometimes feel that it's a sequency, but we want to make sure that it's not a
Oh
sequency when
no,
it comes for
I think,
your.
yeah, I think that's the joy of these books. You can pick your favorite author. There are a number of us who've been in more than one book. You can go for a particular issue. You can go for a particular learning and just look in the table of contents or check the tool and decide what it is that you want to learn. And, I think I've been in the wellness universe for 7 or 8 years. I didn't keep track, but I've been around a long time, and I will just tell you that the people, I mean, you can't go wrong. Read anybody's chapter, and you're going to learn something. You're going to get support. And I went to a channeling one time at the turn of the century. I have a friend who's a direct voice channel, and all these therapists wanted to go because they wanted to help people into the new century in the right way. So they all went, what can we do to help? And the answer always has intrigued me. The answer was, it's wonderful that you want to help other people, but you actually came here as therapists in order to do your own growing. And if you do your own growing, then if other people get a benefit from that, that's really good. But the purpose is that we each do our own growing. And to get back to something we were talking about earlier about asking questions, asking for help. I used to think I should know it all. I felt I was behind because of all this. I thought everybody knew things I didn't know. But what I have since discovered is that in this universe, if you don't ask for help, you won't get it. And
Yes.
so you don't have to ask a particular person. You can just say out loud, I need help here. This is what I'd really like. And just put it out there, because if you don't ask, you won't get it.
Oh, I just got goosebumps. That's like we're saying, ask and you receive, right?
Yes.
Oh my God, this. I have nothing else to say after that. I feel like I need to meditate about this, you know. This is so powerful. This put us in the as a protagonist of our own lives, as you're saying, like you are
Mhm.
the main character of your own life, your own narrative.
Wonderful. I like that summary.
Yes. Beautiful.
Oh, Jesus, I want to stay here with you. I'm gonna spend the rest of my day here. I'm not going anywhere.
I'm willing.
Thank you so much for everything. Thank you very much for your time to stay here with us. I am so blessed and so grateful for the opportunity. And I feel like this book coming up like 25 tools into 20 for life into 2025. So it's not just a number, everything's related, everything's connected. Uh, I just want to ask you for us before we finish this live, if any message you want to spread out to our audience, since you're coming back next year. Like today was our last live for this series. We're coming up rest for the holidays, and then we know there are a lot of work to do next year.
Bonnie, go for it.
Well, I think the message I am having a little audio trouble, but I did understand you said a message for the holidays or last message for the book.
A message for people for before just to finish this year or how they want to start the new year, the
Oh
fresh
yes,
new year.
I think the biggest message for this year, which has been a really difficult year for so many people, is to say now is the time for now. That was then, those things happened, some disappointments, some successes. And there's the future coming, and we surely would like to manifest a great future. And the best way to do that is to settle into the now. Acknowledge what's going on, acknowledge any problems, feel what's good, experience the gratitude for whatever it is we have. If it's a roof over the head and daily bread, thankful for that. And find a moment in the present moment for some gratitude so that what comes out of that gratitude for which we do all feel. I guess that would be what I would think. And these self-care books mean self-care. Take care of ourselves and have that gratitude. It comes from within and we'll be fine.
Mm,
Right.
thank you.
And so what I would say is that, wow, it just went out of my mind. I had, oh, I know what it is. When I am doing individual therapy over the years with people and they have major change to make, the first thing that happens is they fall apart, and they have to fall apart in big ways. The old has to slough off before the new can come in. And that is happening in our world right now. And a lot of people are terrified and scared because they think something's going wrong. And I want to say, no, something is going right. The people in the world are falling apart. The political systems, the money systems, the housing systems, whatever, the things that we've set up that aren't what we really need are falling apart. And all we have to do is stay centered inside of ourselves. Make sure we stay happy. Make sure we love the people around us, including ourselves, and also have faith. The worst thing when it's happening on an individual lesson is people think it's never going to end and there's something, I'm going crazy. It's that bad. Well, it does end and you're not going crazy. The trick is let it go and allow things to fall apart. And in the meantime, do what you can to keep yourself full of love and together. And that's where we need to put our focus right now. And we can, holding on to the idea that we're moving into more spirituality or a larger focus, it always helps to have something bigger than ourselves to relate to, because if you try to only relate to what's going on in the world, you're constantly going up and down, and it is terrifying. So something larger, it doesn't have to be a deity. It can just be, well, there's a change going on now, and I'm just going to make it through this change.
Something is going right.
Yeah.
And now is the time for now. I took note here. I will take this for my next year. And instead of saying, what if I fall? What if you fly?
That's nice. I'm writing that one down.
Ladies, it's been such a pleasure. I know you guys have the author call right now with Anna. I'm so grateful for your lives. I'm so grateful for having this opportunity to share all your knowledge and everything you've been doing to make this world better as we are trying to do all every single day. But we can do this just being our best version of ourselves. That's the best way for us to be a contribution here. So
Thank
thank you so much. And
you.
I
Thank
hope we
you.
to see you soon.
All right. Happy
Bye
holidays.
bye. Thank you.
Happy
Happy
New Year.
holidays.
Bye.
Bye bye.